Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So I did say earlier on that I would be redoing um, New Start from scratch. So I've reset this account to do that, and I've got some goodies there, so I'm going to collect them, including my first Nat 5 summon, which we all knew what was going to be, Vampire Lord. It's very good. Anyway, that won't be normal for a lot of you players who start this game from scratch. That will not be the norm. So, let's get straight into New Start Episode 1, Version 2. So, one of the reasons I'm doing this series is to help newer players to the game, and is to help them and also to show what you guys have that wasn't necessarily the case back when I first started playing, which is right back at the beginning of Summon as well. Let's get straight into it. So one of the advantages you guys get two things that I didn't have straight off the bat, and that's the daily bonus there at the bottom left and the little angel. Let's go for the daily bonus first. So daily bonus, you guys get as new users all of this day by day. So every day you log in, you'll get one of these items. Now 100 energy, pretty good. Manas, stones, that's brilliant. You'll need those, but the ones that I'd be very interested in are obviously the summons. So that's the far right side there, day 6, day 12, day 18, day 24, and that one in particular, the last one, because that's a guaranteed nut 4. The other thing I'd be excited about are these rune packs. So definitely worth grabbing. This is another bonus that you guys get that wasn't around in my time. So daily energy gift, you get an extra 50 energy, mana and experience 100%. That's fantastic. That's very good for new users. Will help you progress very quickly, which is what you need. Free rune removal, that's a nice bonus, but as I mentioned in my previous New Start, it isn't absolutely necessary for a new player, because your runes quality will generally not be very good, which means, you know, removing runes is not going to cost you that much. So it's really just it's not a fantastic bonus. Then this one's only just been recently added, and one of the reasons I have to redo the series. Rune power up costs 50% off. That's fantastic, because you will get some decent quality runes, and you definitely want to make the most of that in the first 14 days. Upgrade those quality runes as you get them. Make a wish, you get +1. So one of my recommendations I say to any new player is make sure you get to the wishes to the point where you're able to purchase the make a wish building before you finish on your first day. So that requires you get to level 7. Not very hard to do, but yeah. The other thing that you guys get that wasn't around in my time are these 6 challenges, which currently are not available, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. It's not worth it. And the level up bonus is another thing that you guys get that wasn't around in my time. So we won't talk too much about them. Already talked about enough. Now another change that they've only just recently made, I'm going to grab that, is it's not there yet, but they've added some new items in here. So once you get to a certain level, we'll get them. So how about we get straight into it? The first stage, scenario 1. So we'll click on that. Yep. And the reward we'll get is an Elven Ranger. So let's get straight into it. Now I could use reps, but I'm not going to. I don't need them at this point. And I'm just going to use my Vampire Lord on his own. Partly because he can do it on his own anyway. So now, the thing to note about scenarios is this: they will drop runes. They'll drop other things, but most of the time it's runes. This first scenario will drop me energy runes. So what does energy runes mean? There are 2 sets, so that means out of the 6 slots of runes that a creature has, I only need to put 2 energy on them, and so that's an energy rune for slot 2. They'll get the bonus from this set, which is 15% increase in HP. In fact, the runes that this guy has on him, which came with him, is you can see there's a 2 set of energy. So what that means is because there are 2 energies being used in his set, his kit, it gives him an additional 15% HP, which is very useful to keep him alive. So that's what you get here. Now, the other thing about scenarios is that it can help you get the particular one you are after. So, with energy, with this scenario, I'm currently doing scenario 3, which means when it drops a rune, it will be for slot 3, which is not that rune. So it's not giving me a rune that time. So that's slot 3. This one will be slot 4, slot 5, slot 6. So 1 through to 6 will give me the associated rune number, and that's important to note for new players, because when you're starting you might go, oh, I only need energy, I only need it for slot 6. Yes, it's not going to be the best rune quality, but it's going to be enough to be substantial, to be useful initially. So we'll get that right now. So, already up to level 3, which is fantastic because I need it to be. So that's a slot 4 rune. Can you see it even tells you it's slot 4 with the number 4 in brackets behind the name of the rune. Alright, so now that I've reached level 3, I'll be able to auto the rest. So I'm going to quickly hit the play button at the bottom, and it will do it for me. It will do it far faster than I can. The disadvantage, of course, is it means that the unit in question is not going to be very smart. It doesn't necessarily need to be. So he'll just fly through this for me. And this is slot 5. So energy runes, where are they useful? They're useful for creatures that are HP based mons in general. Can be also useful for a range of other monsters that don't necessarily need to be HP based. So even for this guy, he's an attack mon, but he's got energy runes. It just gives him a little bit more toughness so he can last if he's being attacked himself. Do I use them often? I actually use them quite a lot. Often I use 2 sets that have certain substat qualities. So a substat is, if you remember when you looked at this guy's runes, he had a number of stats underneath the main one. They're substats. So often I'm using energy because there's a good speed or a good cry rate that I want to use for it. So, yeah, summoning scrolls, won't say no. Now, this is the boss stage. So this, in scenarios, boss stages will drop, if they're going to drop a rune, it could be of any one of the 6 slots. So often I will go there if I don't really care what slot I'm going for. Still more so for my younger accounts. My main account doesn't go here anymore for runes. It just doesn't need to. But, that is an end game account. So it's been around for a while. Alright, he should be able to do that easily. And there you go. So I finished scenario 1, and the reward we get for scenario 1 is, after they talk a lot at me, yada yada yada, thank you, is the Elven Ranger. Is he worthwhile? Well, let's grab him and let's have a look at him while they're talking at me still. Oh, okay, I don't want to buy anything. Go to the inbox. Yes, we'll go to my inbox. So I click on that, and as you can see, he's there, so I'm going to grab him. Alright, so let's quickly look at him. Oh, let's go and talk to him about energy runes again. Hang on, sorry. This is the one thing I hate about when you start is this direction. Thankfully, I think it's the last time. Or at least for a while anyway. Alright, so this is the one we want to look at. Elven Ranger. He is... What's he got good for him? Well, at the moment, not much, but if you awaken him, he gets a leader skill of 15% increased speed anywhere. So that's pretty useful. He's a light monster. That's pretty useful. It means he's got no element disadvantage. So one of the things that we'll show you at the beginning is elemental disadvantage. So water, which is what your fairy is, has elemental advantage over fire, which is what your hellhound is. So it means it will be more likely to do a critical rate, will be more likely to deal substantial damage and apply debuffs. Red has elemental advantage over wind, which is what your vagabond is, his wind. So same deal. And wind has an elemental advantage over water. That doesn't mean that those disadvantaged elements can't apply buffs back, so the fairy can freeze using a primary skill on this guy. Light and dark, they have elemental advantage over each other, but they do not have disadvantages. So in that sense, yeah, he's useful. Now he did just recently get a buff, and I think it's only just to increase the likelihood of the debuffs, so maybe that will change him, but generally speaking, this guy is fed. He's not generally kept, so I'm not going to build him, partly because I've already built him in my, I'm currently building him, sorry, I should say, in my light dark account. But yeah, the other thing you'll notice is I've got this guy, a Devilmon. I'm just going to quickly talk about that. I'm not using him. The reason I'm not using him is Devilmons should be saved for your Nat 5s or Nat 4s that you're desperate to try and you build up skills. So these guys are used to increase the skills. So as you can see, this guy's got 4 faded skills. So if I fed him that, one of his skills at random would be improved. Now, this guy's a Nat 5. Why wouldn't I feed the Devilmon to him? Because the vampire, Nat 4 vampires, I can feed and will skill him up. So he isn't as desperately needing the skill ups as other Nat 5s. Who knows, I may summon one in this series. So we'll see how we go. Well look guys, that will be it for this video. I'll leave it there, short and sweet. Next video we'll go to the next scenario and talk about something else there as well. Alright, Karo signing off.